of a spot.
For sure. So, like, looking at the arc of the Chicago Blackhawks rebuild, obviously there's got to be young players that are coming up that they're, kind of seeing as their future. And then they're trying to surround them with some older guys, some veterans, some proven guys. I look at this Blackhawks lineup. It's not laden with young prospects below Bedard on the lineup. Are they on the way? Is there enough in the lineup for them to have a bright future in the years ahead here?
Well, I think one of the main things, Justin, was to make sure that the guys like Frank Nazar or upcoming players like that aren't just anointed to this roster.
Sure. Yeah, he's
You
lighting
know,
it up in the American League, right?
that's right.
Yeah.
And Connor's special, and it's a specialty, and he comes in. He's not making the team. I mean, he was making the team. Come hell or high water, that he was on that team. And so, but they want to make sure that everybody else marinates in the minors. Like even Alex Vlasic only played 1 year. When do you see this horse? Big number 72. Like we got Nolan Allen. There was a last pick of the first round. You've got Wyatt Kaiser. That's a really good defenseman. They're all young players. But as far as the forward group is concerned, if you don't fill up the roster with guys that have experience, guys like Teravainen or guys like Tyler Bertuzzi would be the youngest of the group, to go along with other players that are on expiring contracts. The guys that you look at is Lucas Reichel, you look at Philip Kurashev, that's the group right there. That's going to be with Connor Bedard, going forward, along with the fellas that I say. And all you have to do is look at the minors. Artie Levshinov, the defenseman, second overall pick. He's down in Chicago. You've got Nazar, like I'm saying, is down in Chicago. So, I think Kyle Davidson is doing a good job of saying we do not want to put these guys ahead. We do not want to anoint them. And that's why we got these older players, is to teach and groom and cultivate something that reminds people of winning and having character and being able to go out in the media and speak and represent the franchise well. So yeah, that would be my best answer on that.
So Panger, if I would have told you at the beginning of the year that up until this point, going into December, the MVP of the team wouldn't have been Connor Bedard, but Peter Mrazek, you would have looked at me like I had three heads?
I've looked at you like that before. But you know what, Kipper? Yeah, I think people would be surprised. But last year, Mrazek was the MVP last year for me. He and Vlasic and Connor, but Connor missed 14 games. And, I thought Foligno last year played such a pivotal role. And Jason Dickinson had a career year with 22 goals and checks the other team's best players every single night. But yeah, for people that don't know, like Soderblom's going to play tonight. They average 2 goals for or fewer for both these goaltenders on a nightly basis, except for last night against Columbus, and that was maybe Peter's worst game of the year. And I think he's just a little out of gas, but the goaltending has been fine. In fact, I would say the goaltending has been spectacular at this particular point. Just got to score more goals. The power play is now is red hot, but it was a little quiet. They were only generating 1 power play per game for 5 straight games. It's a all-time Hawks record for fewest power play opportunities as an average in a 5-game span.
Panger, we're going to let you go.
Thanks, buddy.
Have a great night tonight. Say hello to our good friend Rick Ball for us.
I will
How's he
say hello
doing?
to Rick Ball.
Yeah.
I made him go to practice today.
Good.
Rick
Rookie.
is fantastic. It's a great acquisition for us, and for me personally, he's so experienced, such a nice guy. We go for dinners. He loves his red wine. He loves his steak. He eats too much steak. I got to get him off that a little bit. But no, he's been fantastic. So thanks for sending another great Sportsnet talent over here to the United States of America with me.
Have a great call, pal. All the best.
Thanks.
Thanks,
That is
Panger.
Darren Pang, analyst with the Chicago Blackhawks and TNT.
Rick Ball has been in Calgary for however many years.
Yeah.
You're going to eat some red meat. That's good.
Yes.
A prerequisite.
Rick Ball, one of my faves, calls a hell of a game.
Grew up in Kelowna when he was just starting out.
Oh, really?
It was,
Yep.
That's on the ball. I'm Rick Ball.
Really?
That was
Oh,
his
I'm
little
sure, I'm sure he
segment in
loves
the-
to do that.
Got to read for us?
I got to read. Are you guys ready?
Yes,
Here we
sir.
go.
As ready as we can be.
Okay. All right. You got to rate this one out of 10 by the time I'm done. Who wants to win a bunch of cash while doing the best thing this holiday season?
JB and I.
It's Sportsnet 590 The Fans 50-50 Fortune supporting food for kids. Here's what you need to know. We've created a 50-50 lottery where the more money we raise, the more kids we can feed in the GTA, and the more money you can win. The current take-home prize is over $363,000, boys.
Ooh, boy.
Someone is going to win that jackpot on Thursday, December 19th. And if you get your tickets early, there are more amazing early bird prizes, including 2 sports packages. One is a pair of tickets to an upcoming Leaf game and a signed William Nylander jersey. And the second is a pair of tickets to a Jays game and a signed George Springer jersey. Get your tickets by Friday, December 6th at 9 a.m. for the chance to win. For more details and to buy your tickets, go to foodforkids5050.ca or text the word cash to 590-590 and we'll send the link right to your phone. It's a 50-50 fortune supporting Food for Kids. Standard message and data rates apply. Ontario only.
Nice job, Sammy.
Good job, Samuel.
Oh, boy. I was holding on for dear life.
You
there,
nailed it.
boys.
Terrific job.
A lot of the former Leafs.
We got a few minutes left.
Yeah.
What did you get out of listening to Darren Pang talk about Connor Bedard?
I think how impressed he is with him as like a pro and being groomed to be this next one, which is certainly part of it. I take it you took something different.
Yeah, it kind of caught me a little bit off guard when he referred to him as slow. He needs to be faster, I think, is what Panger said,
Yeah.
which means to me, he's saying he's a little too slow.
Yeah, he referred to working on the give and go game, which also implies that I don't know if you love the people you're playing with, you feel like you can't get it back if you give it up, and that's part of
Yeah.
speed too. And
I see it differently, but
Yeah,
I'm not saying that you're
sure.
not you're wrong on this. You're probably right, but I also get from that is, hey, buddy, what you did in junior and what you worked at the World Juniors, where you just got to dance around everybody, ain't working.
No.
This is the best league in the world, and you don't have the time and space that you had in junior. So better learn the give and go, because the other stuff ain't working.
I watched some highlights of him today, knowing we'd be watching him tonight. And he is one of those guys that, like Mitch Marner, who is so confident when he has the puck, just like he just has it, right? Like he'll have it for longer periods of time than someone else. But in Bedard's case, it's not getting anywhere. He has it out on the paint, out on the yellow. And, we talked about Berube, talking about Robertson getting to the inside. So you got to find your way in. Well, like teams now, they'll let you have it out there. Go ahead. You can play with it.
The most recent game they lost against Columbus,
Yeah.
I watched him go down on a 2-on-1 where his feet stopped moving just a little over the
Gets
red
that wide
line
track,
and was looking past the whole time. And he did pass it. But your shot is world class here. Like nobody wants to see Ohtani get called on a third strike pitch.
No one wants to see him hit a
Okay.
single.
No buns for Ohtani.
But the last thing you can't do is not shoot the puck, Connor, when you are in your prime area. And that just speaks to the lack of confidence that he has, that he wouldn't recognize that as my wheelhouse. This is what I'm supposed to do, shoot the puck.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's, we saw Nick Robertson do that the other day on a 2-on-1 where it's like, dude, that's the thing you do. Shoot it from that spot. It's
hat trick incoming for Bedard tonight. A lot of former Leafs in this team.
So we should clarify the Blackhawks on a back-to-back.
Yeah.
And missing a
Seth
body.
Jones.
Seth Jones. Like they're,
I think he's still hurt.
it should be a night where the Leafs can handle themselves. Go ahead on the Leafs thing, though. It's interesting. Who they got?
Bertuzzi.
Yeah.
Foligno. TJ Brody.
Yeah.
Eli Mikheyev.
Wow.
And obviously Peter Mrazek, but he's not playing tonight.
Mrazek a 908 this year for
I think
them.
Bertuzzi and Bedard are playing together tonight with Taylor Hall, which go big or go home. I mean, that's
That's their big.
gotta tell you, I
that's
have-
your meat and potatoes right there.
Hall had a hat trick the other night. I've never been a huge Hall guy, but hat trick the other night. Maybe they're all getting hot at the right time.
Bertuzzi,
I say is that Bedard was dash for last game.
Bertuzzi will score tonight for sure.
you
They
think?
can't all score.
No,
Can't have a
Bertuzzi-
hat trick for him and one
Bertuzzi
for
will
Bert.
score.
Sammy,
If Brody
are you
gets
calling
one.
for a Blackhawk win tonight?
Could use one. Little shake. Just shake up the bird
Sammy.
cage a little bit.
Knock it off.
Nah, they should
They should win tonight.
easily.
All right. Once again, our thanks to Darren Pang for joining us on our Leaf Hour. Don't go away. We go national next. Don Waddell, president of hockey operations for the Columbus Blue Jackets, will join us. He just completed a pretty big trade. We'll tell you all about it when we return.
The Toronto Maple Leafs may be taking a new approach to salary management, which could directly impact Mitch Marner's contract negotiations. During Kyle Dubas' tenure as general manager, the team didn't hesitate to spend heavily, and this trend began with a 6-year extension signed by Marner in 2019. At the time, Marner's $10.9 million annual cap hit set the market for superstar wingers, surpassing comparable players like Mikko Rantanen of the Colorado Avalanche, who signed a 6-year deal with a $9.25 million annual cap hit. Now, however, times seem to be changing. TSN's Pierre LeBrun recently reported that the Maple Leafs have implemented an internal salary cap, aiming to ensure no player earns more than captain Auston Matthews, who signed a 4-year extension worth $13.25 million per season in August 2023. The team's primary concern revolves around Marner's agent, Darren Ferris, who, according to LeBrun, might push for a percentage of the total salary cap instead of a fixed dollar amount. This could result in Marner's cap hit exceeding Matthews' $13.25 million, conflicting with the Leafs' new financial strategy. Ferris is known for driving negotiations to the limit, often taking his clients to free agency. This raises fears that discussions between Marner and the Leafs could drag on until July 1st, giving Marner and his camp all the leverage in negotiations. Another complicating factor is the rising market. LeBrun noted that Mikko Rantanen believes he could secure $14 million per season as a free agent. This sparks the question, could Marner demand even more? And would Ferris take that gamble, knowing the Leafs might opt to move on and sign another player? Marner has made it clear on multiple occasions that Toronto is where he wants to be. As a local player with deep ties to the city, he's expressed his desire to spend his entire career wearing the blue and white of the Leafs. However, staying with the team may require him to accept less than market value, especially if the front office remains committed to its new salary structure. Such a sacrifice could be vital for the team's collective success and to avoid financial issues that have plagued the recent past. While negotiations are still in the early stages, it's evident that Marner's future with the Leafs is at stake. Maple Leafs fans may need to prepare for the possibility of significant changes, but they can also trust in the player's commitment to the city and the franchise to find a compromise. The Maple Leafs' decision to implement an internal salary cap reflects a broader shift in their team-building philosophy. After years of prioritizing top-end talent with hefty contracts, the organization appears determined to strike a balance between superstar contracts and depth throughout the roster. This strategy aims to avoid the pitfalls of past seasons, where a lack of financial flexibility often left the team vulnerable in critical playoff moments. For Mitch Marner, this shift creates a unique challenge. On one hand, his value to the Leafs is undeniable. A consistent top scorer and elite playmaker, Marner has been instrumental in driving the team's offense. On the other hand, his ability to command a salary that rivals or exceeds Auston Matthews could put the Leafs in a difficult position, especially with a potential need to strengthen other areas of the roster. As the 2023-24 season progresses, the Leafs must weigh the potential consequences of sticking to their cap philosophy. Losing a homegrown talent like Marner would undoubtedly sting for fans and the organization alike. However, allowing one player to dictate financial terms beyond the team's structure could hinder long-term success and force painful sacrifices elsewhere. Adding to the complexity is the looming free agency of William Nylander. If the Leafs are to stick to their internal salary cap, they may also face challenges in retaining Nylander, who could command a significant raise. Balancing contracts for both Marner and Nylander within the new framework could prove to be the ultimate test for Toronto's management team. Another factor at play is the team's ultimate goal, winning the Stanley Cup. While star players like Marner and Matthews are crucial, history has shown that depth and balanced rosters often prevail in the postseason. If the Leafs fail to manage their finances effectively, they risk falling short of building a championship-caliber team, even with elite talent. For Marner, the decision to stay with the Leafs might come down to more than just dollars. His connection to the city, the fans, and his teammates could be deciding factors. If he prioritizes legacy and loyalty over maximizing earnings, there's a strong possibility that he'll work with the team to find a deal that benefits both parties. Negotiations will also test Darren Ferris, known for his hardline tactics in securing lucrative deals for his clients. While pushing for top dollar is expected, Ferris may need to weigh the risks of alienating the Leafs management and fanbase. A prolonged stalemate could damage Marner's relationship with the team and its supporters. The Leafs management, led by general manager Brad Treliving, faces a pivotal moment. Treliving's reputation as a negotiator and team builder will be on full display as he navigates this high-stakes scenario. Striking the right balance could solidify his tenure in Toronto, while a misstep might set the team back for years. For Maple Leafs fans, the coming months will be filled with anticipation and uncertainty. Marner's future, along with the team's ability to stay competitive under financial constraints, will likely dominate conversations as the season unfolds. Supporters can only hope that the team's new approach leads to greater playoff success and, ultimately, the elusive championship. In the end, the outcome of these negotiations could redefine the Maple Leafs' identity for years to come. Whether it results in retaining Marner or reshaping the roster, the team's commitment to an internal salary cap signals a clear focus on long-term sustainability. Fans will be watching closely, hoping for a resolution that keeps the team's core intact and their championship dreams alive. As the negotiations with Mitch Marner progress, another layer of complexity is added by the external competition in the NHL market. Teams with more cap space and fewer restrictions could easily present lucrative offers to Marner if he reaches free agency. The Leafs are not only negotiating with Marner but also indirectly competing with other franchises willing to outbid them for his services. One example of this is Mikko Rantanen, whose potential $14 million value on the open market highlights the growing demand for elite wingers. If Rantanen secures such a deal, it could set a precedent that Marner's camp would use as leverage. The Leafs, however, must remain disciplined, as breaking their internal salary cap for Marner could lead to similar demands from other key players down the line. The looming specter of free agency means the Leafs have a limited window to strike a deal. If negotiations drag on into the off-season, the leverage shifts heavily in favor of Marner and his agent. Darren Ferris, known for his strategic patience, could use this to push for maximum value, putting even greater pressure on the Leafs management to make a decision. This scenario also places significant pressure on head coach Sheldon Keefe. Managing a team amid ongoing contract uncertainty can disrupt chemistry and focus. Keefe will need to ensure that the team remains united and focused on their performance, even as the media and fans speculate about Marner's future. Meanwhile, the Leafs core group, including Austin Matthews, Morgan Rielly, and John Tavares, will likely play a role in influencing Marner's decision. The camaraderie among the players and their collective drive for a championship could persuade Marner to accept a deal that aligns with the team's financial structure. On the flip side, the Leafs could explore contingency plans if a deal with Marner doesn't materialize. Trading Marner would be a bold move, but it could bring significant assets in return, potentially bolstering the team in areas like defense or secondary scoring. This option, while unpopular with fans, might be necessary to maintain roster balance. The timing of these decisions is also critical. With the trade deadline months away, the Leafs must assess whether keeping Marner without an extension risks losing him for nothing in free agency. A preemptive trade could avoid this scenario, but it would also signal a significant shift in the team's short-term goals. Fan sentiment will undoubtedly influence the team's approach. Marner is not just an exceptional player, he's a fan favorite and a symbol of homegrown talent succeeding in Toronto. Losing him could lead to backlash, especially if the team struggles in the aftermath of his departure. The broader NHL landscape also plays a role. As other teams navigate their own salary cap challenges, the Leafs can learn from their successes and failures. Organizations like the Tampa Bay Lightning and Vegas Golden Knights have shown the value of balancing star power with depth, offering a potential blueprint for Toronto's future.